I would have I would be the second coming of Genghis Khan. Like screw that, bro. I'm growing a basketball team.
But you're starting. You have a whole starting five.
I'm guaranteeing this. If I make at least $500K, but I'm having a large amount of kids. I'm putting that right on the.
You have a whole litter.
Yeah, I'm about to multiply, man. I'm multiplying like crazy, man. We're having kids up here, you know.
Popping babies left and right.
Hell yeah. Okay, yo, what's good, everybody? This is the Blackout Podcast, episode 2. I'm Nico.
And this is Trey.
This is Simon.
Yeah, yo, what are you eating right now? I saw you you're eating some shit.
Right now, I'm eating eggs with chicken. I just finished it, but I'm trying to eat healthy. Go to the gym, get some protein.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, certified busting though. Like you get all that protein.
Protein intake.
Like get like a good healthy balanced diet.
Yeah, we gotta get that muscle.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly need to go back to the gym, type shit. Like I've been slacking.
I've been on my gym stuff.
Yeah, no, I've been slacking.
Yeah, but anyway, it's been a while since the first episode. We dropped our vlog of Puerto Rico. Man, it's felt like a century since we've been to Puerto Rico. That was. Man, we need to figure out what our next trip is going to be.
Yo, honestly, I'm thinking about we go back to Latin America type shit, but y'all stay tuned. And also because also we just also been working on a bunch of other types of content for this channel overall. So we have a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to release to the public, so y'all can enjoy and be entertained. Because that's what we're here to do, to entertain y'all.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned. And before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. We definitely want to get those numbers up. Please do us a favor and definitely hit the like button. Let's definitely get started with this shit. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a trend that's been on the news recently. And that is this weight loss drug, or actually it's been multiple weight loss drugs. But mainly it's Ozempic. And for Ozempic, it's basically a weight loss drug where I think it suppresses the appetite, and there's been studies and a lot of anecdotal stories where people have actually lost weight due to this drug. And FYI, this isn't the first weight loss drug that's occurred on the market, but the ones in the past, they've caused a bunch of problems, which caused the FDA to pull those drugs off the market. But this seems to be gaining momentum, and right now we're going to talk about whether is this a good or a bad thing within our society. Will this be a I guess is this a good or bad thing, Simon?
Yeah, so Ozempic is a weight loss drug that a lot of celebrities use to help lose some weight. It does take a few weeks to kick in, but honestly, I don't have any negative connotations with it. If people really need it to lose weight, that's okay. But at the end of the day, you got to be in a calorie deficit, right? You got to be eating the right foods. That drug just helps suppress your appetite, kind of raises your thermogenic temperature in your body to make you burn more calories, but you still have to eat healthy, sleep well, do all that extra stuff. So I think it can help, but the only problem I see with it is you kind of have to rely on it. Once you start taking it, it's one of those medications you got to keep taking again and again and again. Once you stop taking it, then you'll go back to your natural state. So I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, but I don't really I don't have any opinions on people using it. I think if you really need it, especially if you're super overweight, then by all means take it.
Yo, so let me ask all this. I don't really know that much about it, but how is this shit expensive, or is it affordable for most people? I don't really know. I know I'm feeling it might be on the more expensive side because it's new, but I don't really know.
Uh, I think
Well,
it's
when it comes to prescription, right? A lot of these drugs, well, it can range, but it's not that expensive. I think it'd probably be like what, $50 per month or
Is this
something.
some shit that's like a prescribed to you, or can you like,
Yeah,
get
you
it
have to
like?
get a prescription.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you have to find someone a doctor or pharmacist that can prescribe it to you. But the problem is, like, it will be a lot of money in the long run, not the short run, right? Depends where you're getting it from, what source, all that. So I don't think it's that expensive. There's many different medications out there you can get. I'd say around 50 to $100 per month, which is not that bad, especially if you're rich, right? So it's not that
yeah,
expensive, but it has a lot of
yeah,
side effects, right? So it's like
yeah. True.
headaches, blood clots. There's a lot of stuff that can happen to you physically and harm your health. So it has its pros and cons, but you can lose a lot of weight with it. Like, I don't know, I've
Yeah,
seen people lose 30, 40, 50 pounds. So it's definitely
yeah,
helpful.
and to want to give like background like info like pertaining to obesity. So according to the um National Institute of Health, I think over 40% of 40% of adults in the U.S. are obese. So it's definitely been trending in the upward direction. Um, and yeah, like this, I feel like this type of drug was predictable. Um, like obesity, like we all know the effects of obesity and the like including like type 2 diabetes. And I think Ozempic, it was initially used for like type 2 diabetes to control I think one's blood sugar. But I think what they realized was like a lot of these patients who initially used Ozempic, they were also experiencing weight loss. So they focus like more on the weight loss aspect of the drug, which is why it's recently become popular. Because like again, like this drug, like Ozempic, is not new. Like it's been around the market for a while now. But yeah, so like obesity, um, in my opinion, like I'm all for like innovation, like finding like ways to like solve the obesity problem because I think for a lot of developed countries, um, they're experiencing this obesity problem, and like one, there's like many factors to it. Like of course, like food, of course,
It's like
plus
environment, like
environment,
also genetics too. Like
yeah. Also, like a lot of people, like back then we used to do more physical work, but now a lot of people like are inside buildings. We're not doing as much labor work due to like technology and like stuff like that. So yeah, like this is very common for a lot of developed countries with the increase in obesity. So again, like this drug, weight loss drug, is predictable, but I don't know if this Ozempic and these other drugs like necessarily like solve the problem like on its own. Like I looked up a couple of like reaction videos from doctors about like how this drug's been working, and one thing I've noticed is like yes, it like a lot of people who use Ozempic like they lose like pounds, of course, but they also lose a lot of muscle mass too. And like a lot of times, what happens with I think damn near all of like these patients who use Ozempic, they lose weight, but they basically become um what's the term, like skinny fat. I don't know if you guys know like skinny fat. It's just basically you may look like my size, but your body fat percentage is still not good, and basically you're still unhealthy. And like I think Simon mentioned this, you still have to like eat right. You still have to go to the gym, eat like
you
adequate
still
amount of
have,
protein.
you still have to do like the same necessary steps you had to do before, like to like lose weight. Like you still have to. You can't just like do nothing. Like you still have to work for it. Like it's not just like
Yeah, it's not no magic like pill,
it's not
magic
like a
shot.
it's not like a magic like solution. It's just something that's like supposed to like assist you in your like weight loss journey because you still have to like eat healthy and exercise because just like taking the pills not gonna like solve everything. You still have to put in the work, but it just makes it like easier to like do that because you're not gonna be as like you're not gonna be as hungry and you're not gonna like have
Hmm.
as like as many cravings, but you still have to like put in the same work because it's like
Yeah, it could definitely be a good assistance because a lot of people a lot of people just have like just insane cravings. They just want to eat all the time, and you really don't need to, um, I guess, eat that much. Like we have what do you call it, like um, a snacking culture where we just constantly have to put stuff in our mouths all the time. Pause. Like, just have to just eat something, whether it's like chips or like soda. Just so I think just
because like the thing is, I think it's like also like with other like sort types of like medication, like you take like anti like depressants and shit, like it's gonna like it's like it's meant because it's not gonna like solve everything. It's not gonna like
yeah.
cure like the underlying like issues that are actually like causing like you to like have like not like have this, but it's gonna like
Mhm.
assist you and it's gonna make your to change like some chemicals like in your body that like makes everything it makes it better, but like you still have to put in like the necessary steps like for like if you take antidepressants like you still like have to do stuff to work
Yeah.
like the work on that because like the pill's gonna obviously make you like feel better, but it's not gonna solve everything.
Hmm.
And same with like this like weight loss pill. It's not gonna solve everything, but it's gonna like help make things easier. And I think that honestly just as long as it doesn't really like have like a bunch of like negative side effects, I feel like I don't think there's like anything wrong with like
Yeah, so
taking
as
it.
Nico
But
said, it definitely doesn't solve it. It kind of just is there to help out. And like Trey said, it can make you skinny fat because a lot of these people are losing way too much muscle because they're cutting so hard. So you're supposed to slowly lose weight, not lose it all at once, or else you're going to be skinny fat. Basically, your body is just shrinking. It's recompositioning, but you're losing muscle instead of fat. So if you look the same, you're just small in a sense. Um, so yeah, it can definitely help. It can also hurt you, right? And again, we don't even know if this drug may actually impact the metabolism and other functions and hormones in your body. So when you get off of it, how would you bounce back, right? Or how would you keep the weight off? That's another thing that a lot of research hasn't even dived into since Ozempic is relatively new. Well, it's been for a while, but research on it is still, ongoing. So honestly, it's a risk at the end of the day. If you really need it and you have trouble losing weight, um, the natural way, then go for it. But just know what you're getting yourself into.
Facts. Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Is this I guess drug considered like fat phobic?
I mean, I don't really see like what. I mean, if you do think it's fat, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're bugging if you think it's like fat phobic. Because that's like the same thing as like saying like like trying to lose weight is like fat phobic. It's like I don't think there's nothing
Some people like
wrong.
consider
You know,
that.
but that's like the crazy people on like TikTok and shit. But like, I don't think like trying to improve yourself or like trying to make your like self
Yeah.
healthier is like fat phobic. Because the thing is like I don't know. I feel like a lot of that shit just like thrown around a lot nowadays, and like it is like kind of stupid. Because the thing is like obviously I don't think you should be like bully people or like be
Yeah, of
mean to
course.
them for being fat, but like I also don't think you should like encourage it or like you should just like or like tell people they're like being fat phobic for just inherently trying to like better themselves and live a healthier lifestyle because that's just like ridiculous. Like any doctor will tell you it's not like healthy to be like obese. Like they're not gonna say that. So like obviously it's like like it's
Imagine all like the
yeah.
imagine like just all the fat people just like in front of like the like drug company's headquarters just protesting. Like like do not what do you call it? Do not unfat us.
Yeah, no, because I mean, right, they'd be like shooting themselves in the foot for doing that. Like, yo, like this is like something that's gonna help them be like healthier and like prevent, make them less at risk for like having like heart disease and like for high blood pressure and all this shit that comes with like being like obese or like overweight or like,
Yeah.
and like I think by just like having like a tool that makes it easier for you is honestly might like make more people at least try to like lose weight. I mean, if you're like fine with like that, like it's like I mean, it's up to you. It's your choice. Like you could do like people can like do whatever they want, but like you shouldn't like just like how you shouldn't like shame people just for like being fat. Like you shouldn't shame people for trying to lose weight and improve themselves. It just like makes no sense to me.
At the end of the day, if you're fat, you're unhealthy. Think about it. I've never seen a fat person be healthy, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I hate this whole body positivity movement, because I understand you shouldn't judge someone by how they look and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're promoting people to be obese when that's not a good thing. Like you want people to lose weight, at least be a healthy weight, healthy body fat. But when you support and encourage people to be fat, you're just hurting. You're hurting them health wise. That's why
It's facts.
blood pressure is the highest. People that die from heart attacks and diabetes is so high in the U.S. It's because we're fat as fuck. I'm sorry, we're all obese. Like literally, 35% of the U.S. is obese. Look at other countries; they're all skinny or skinnier. So it's not normal to be obese. All right, you can be a little overweight, but to encourage and glorify being fat, I feel like that's not a good thing. Like,
Facts. So, yeah, we definitely need to build those muscles up. Definitely.
We could. We definitely
get into
could.
shape and
be like live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, we're promoting health over here.
Yeah, like honestly, like I need to like because we're all trying to like get healthier and like improve. Like we're not perfect or anything, but like
have y'all gotten your like body fat percentage like measured?
Yeah, so
like,
body fat. I used to actually track that. Like I used to be skinny fat. I wasn't fat, but I had a lot of fat. Like I wasn't like looking wise, I wasn't sized that big, but I had a lot of fat compared to muscle.
Skinny fat. You're basically skinny fat.
Skinny fat. So literally 2 years ago, I went down to like 8%, 9% body fat. Just by watching my diet. So I lost 40 pounds in 4 months.
Wait, you're 8 to 9% body fat?
Yeah. I remember this shit too.
I have pictures of that. We could probably put that on the podcast.
So you're basically shredded, man.
That was 2 years ago. Right now, I'm like 14.
Is it not?
I couldn't maintain it because the whole time I was thinking about food. I could not sleep. Like all I thought about was food because I was suppressing my body. I wasn't eating for days. Like I went days without eating. I lost a lot of muscle too, but I was shredding. Like you could see all my abs. You could see a V taper. Like literally my ribs. Like it was that insane. But
do you know what happened though? You know, bro, during our to the audience, during our Puerto Rico trip, I found this dude drinking Pepsi bottles right before going to bed. You need to stop doing that.
Oh yeah, you having like all this like high fructose corn syrup and sugar and shit and like before like
you adding sugar to your system right before bed is outrageous, bro.
You're right. So you gotta watch what you eat too, right? Like even right now when I sleep, I drink this antioxidant coconut, right? It's only
that's better.
That's a lot better.
It's a lot better. In here I got a whole bunch of water. So
I can't even talk like a
Pepsi. I went all out. But yeah, my problem too is consistency. Like you can, be super healthy and sustainable, but for me, it's like I have phases where I go through losing weight, then being normal, losing weight. So my problem is just commitment. But I think as long as someone is, has consistency and doing it over and over and over again, like there's no, like if you watch your diet 24/7, you work out, let's say 4 times a week, you take care, you make sure you get at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep, you take your vitamin D's, your vitamins, your supplements, all that, you'd be good. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a hypocrite if I say that I fall off too, but
everyone falls off.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think people probably even people like The Rock and like John Cena and shit like fall off at some point. But they're disciplined as hell, and also
they take steroids. So.
Yeah, they definitely. Oh yeah, type shit.
I don't know if that counts.
So they take SARMs, they take Deca, Trenbolone, they take a bunch of stuff that helps them lose weight and build muscle, right? That's basically cheating. But there are a lot of people.
They're not doing the natural way.
Yeah, give me access to those things. I'll be looking like a beast.
Yeah. So
I was just thinking, it's just like also their body type is just like built to like get like big like that, like because I could never like no matter even if I did everything for me to like get like that, like I'd have to like take even if I did take steroids, I could never get like that. I could never be like the Rock type shit, and that's just like how people just are built different, have different body types.
Maybe down the line I'll try taking. I'll take steroids to see.
No, but that shit like, I'm playing. Nah, like that shit like shrink your balls and shit too, and make you like sterile.
Oh, I don't want. Never mind.
Fuck that.
I don't want that.
But even genetics plays a huge part, like your bone size, how easily you put on muscle, your frame. Like some people are just naturally have wide clavicles, narrow waist. Yeah. Some people are super blocky. All that, your metabolism, how much you eat. It's so much stuff in there. You know, DNA, genetics plays a huge role. Like Nico said, you can never be the next biggest bodybuilder. You can't win Mr. Olympia, right? Because you don't have the genetics for it to put on this size. So it doesn't matter what you take. Same thing with some people. They might not be good at running, but they might be good at weightlifting and vice versa, right? So it's like, at the end of the day, genetics plays a huge part. So does the environment, but genetics more.
Facts. Facts. I just want to say, God bless my genetics. Anyway.
God damn.
Anyway. We're going to move on to the next topic. So for the next thing we're going to talk about is T.I. and his son. What's his son's name?
King. Because we stand on business, yo. Yo, we stand on business.
King. Maybe I should name my son King. But anyway.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like you already just hyping your kid too much by calling him King. Like he's gonna have like it's too big of an ego and shit. Like from like birth.
Yeah, honestly, like the way this is going, like you might be right. So this happened earlier this week, I believe, or I think it was last Sunday, where like T.I. the rapper like did some type of performance for the Atlanta Falcons, I believe, and like, during the game, he and his son King, they got into a crazy argument over like the stupidest thing, and the reason actually before we get into this subject, we're gonna play the video for the audience to see like what happened with this incident.
It's not to go.
All right, then. So, man, go.
In your ear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got some in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Y'all want to go to the bando? Silver spoon. I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandma's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath and throw tantrums to go over there.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand that.
No, I'm going to tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready?
What was the reason?
Because he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was suck and pacify till he was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
He cried like a baby. Hold his breath.
Yeah.
They try to say I was over there trying to suck a passy, but they ain't going to tell you everything like that. They trying to hide it.
Ain't nobody hiding it.
He capping. Hey. He know I stand on business.
You got your car
He know that.
sir.
Can't no nigga ever pull my car ever in life. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on
I don't
business.
feel like you stand on business.
Yeah. I've been stood on business. I've been stood on business. You want to hide it for the world, I'm going to put it out there for them to see.
Hey, man,
I want to put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere. Like, you ain't had me behind a mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do.
You was behind that till you cried.
No, I got too much to drink. I drunk too much. Let's go. Get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other shit. Like this being shit. Just being serious.
Emotional.
No, I'm being real. You lying. You lying. You up here flagging. You're capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. I know you. You capping. I know you.
Okay, so that happened. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. You can tell like he was under the influence of like he got like a bunch of drinks and stuff. But I guess my first thought is, like I don't know about y'all, but I really don't curse around my parents, my family. So that was crazy.
I just think it's the way he's talking, like it's just like disrespectful too, and like
yeah,
you know, this is like what I like. I'm just gonna like this is like what I just think about it, because like I feel like this is like a pretty like common like thing you see, but like where you see someone who comes from just like a super like privileged background and just like grew up like pretty well, and like they're just trying to like just like be like hard to be hood just because like that shit, because like I don't know, because in their mind it's like this shit is like it's easier to like relate to, for people to relate to you, and like he's trying to be like a rapper and stuff too, so like it makes sense like why he'd want to like portray that image, but also he's not just some like random kid like who people don't know who like his like parents are type shit. He's just like his dad's like a famous like world renowned rapper, like everyone knows who he is. This kid actually also was on like TV for like years, because it's like his parents like that like T.I. and Tiny, like that like reality show that was like I don't know, it was like VH1 or it was on something, but
like that.
but he was on like people remember seeing like the whole family on TV, so they know like where you're from and like all that stuff. But like, and then you see this shit a lot too, because you see it with like the whole John Morant situation. But like, to be honest though, like even though I think like what like he was doing was like, just, I don't know, this is super like corny and like dumb, and he's like acting like a straight fool. Like it like makes sense to me, like why it happens, because like his dad is like his dad is like a world, like he's a famous rapper, and like he's trying to like follow in his dad's like footsteps, and like and the thing is like he's heard like T.I. Lee raps about like being on the streets, so he like created like trap music. Like literally he had an album called Trap Music, and he's one of the original people that like coined that term. So like it makes sense like why like his son is like who's interested in like the same field as his dad is trying to emulate that. It like because like if you like because probably T.I. knows this shit too, because you like spent like all your career you're just basically talking about this shit and like how you did this stuff. Like you can't be that surprised if your kid is like kind of trying to like follow what you're doing, because you're like setting that like example. So like it kind of makes sense, but obviously like it's being stupid, and like he's like getting like arrested and going to jail, because this is not like the only thing that like a lot worse has like happened than this, because he's actually been like arrested. If you like even look it up, he has like mug shots and shit online.
T.I. or his son?
No, his son, like King.
Oh,
so like he's actually like going down like a like really like not like a great like a bad path, just to try to like prove himself and like prove him like his place that he belongs in like hip hop, and he belongs in like the industry. But like to me though, it still like makes more sense to me than like a John Morant situation, because like John Morant actually like he worked really hard to get to the position he is to be like an NBA superstar, and he's just like willing to like throw that shit away just for some bullshit, just like to get like respect from the hood and shit. And like honestly, that it just like doesn't really like that shit doesn't matter. But like I don't know, it's just throwing it away for bullshit. But like and like but like for like King, like I feel like obviously there's something like he's wilding, he's like acting like ridiculous, but like that shit is like obviously has like I feel like he's not like 100% at fault, because like that shit does come from the parents.
Yeah.
Like the parents like were like an influence on that because like his dad literally made his entire career like talking about like that shit in his music. So it's like you can't expect him to like. You shouldn't be surprised if that like shit happens. If that's like I think that probably happens with a lot of like rappers, like kids and stuff too. Like they feel they kind of have to like emulate their dads to like succeed in that like field, and like they talk about the same shit they did, even though if they've never been through it, I have no idea what that shit's like.
Yeah, of course. What do you think about it, Simon?
Yeah, I think just name your son King. Like, let's be real. If you name your son King, he's going to act like he's a king, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I honestly think it was kind of a publicity stunt. I'm going to tell you why. So
you thought it was staged?
Huh?
You thought it was staged?
It might have been staged. I'm not saying it is. It's like, there's a chance. Most likely not, but there's a chance because King has a song out. And T.I. and King did that in order to get more views for the song. Also, after the incident, right, T.I. went to a club or bar, and that bar had postings of King on there and like that whole drama situation. And T.I. said, take this shit down. Take it down. You got to pay me if you want to have this. Take it down. And then King goes on IG and he requests $10K per interview from all these media companies to talk about the incident. So it's like they're trying to make money out of it too. So honestly, I don't know. But I feel like King has it in him. Like Nico said, King has this mentality of where even though he grew up privileged, he wants to act hood and stuff so he can relate to more people, which is wrong because he didn't go through that, right? He didn't live in the hood. Yeah, his dad might have, his mom might have, but not him. So how are you going to act like somebody you're not? You know what I'm saying? And I have a problem with that because it's basically showing his character. It's showing that he's treating the hood as if it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? People who actually went through all that stuff, grew up in crime areas, didn't have a mother or father, went to jail, all that stuff, drugs, it's a completely different lifestyle. So the fact that you grew up in a mansion and you're portraying your life like you grew up somebody who had nothing is so fucked up. I'm sorry. So it's like I don't have respect for King at all. But at the same time, I blame the parents, like Nico said, because they're the ones who rose him like that, and he's a reflection of their parents. So at the end of the day, you got to blame both people. It's not only King, it's King and his parents, right? How do y'all feel about that? Like, who do you think is at fault right here in this situation?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's probably like 50-50 because King's like an adult by now, I think.
Yeah, I think I think he's like 19 or something.
Yeah. So it's 50-50, but I think first things first, I have to get this out the way. His teeth are ugly, man.
God damn.
They're ugly.
I gotta lie, that's not the only thing that's ugly about him. Like
ugly teeth.
Bro, his dreads are like
what?
Green and like brown. Like what kind of color? It's like
he's like mad funny looking too.
I've never seen veneers that are shaped at like a 45-degree angle. Like, where in the world could you get those veneers from? Like, if I have veneers that look like that, like I need to go back to the shop and get those removed like ASAP. Like, oh my god, I just had to get that out the way. But like back to your question. I would say it's 50-50, and like Nico, you did make a good point about how like T.I., like his music, like it was like based on that type of lifestyle, so it would make sense for like his son to, I guess, be attracted to that lifestyle because like I think his son would naturally want to follow in his father's footsteps. And I think for some reason there's people have this idea that like being hood, being from the hood, you're more relatable, which is interesting. Like I don't know where that concept comes from really. Like what makes people from the hood more relatable to the average person?
You know what I think it is though? Like I think like people like kind of like hearing about like a kind of like a come up or like a struggle story, and like if you like just like I guess like visually look like you didn't really like struggle much or you didn't have much of a struggle, like people are not gonna like relate to you as much, and like they're not gonna like fuck with like what you're trying to say, but like But honestly, either way, like, but I think that's what like the mindset behind it is. But I think like even like regardless, he probably still like even he still had like his own struggles. Like he could honestly talk about it in his music that like sets himself apart because like
his
I'm not
teeth
gonna,
are struggling.
yeah, his teeth are like his teeth are struggling. But like honestly, like it's probably like hard to be like a celebrity's kid and shit.
Yeah.
And like there's like some struggles that come with that he could kind of like portray in his music in some like way or form. Because there's like but not like every like rap is actually in itself is very like diverse genre. Not like every rapper like talks about that shit. Like Future like talks about like doing drugs and stuff like that, and like he just drug music. Yeah, Kanye does like everything.
Not a gangster.
Yeah, Kanye like Kanye doesn't do gangster shit. Like also like even like also like Kid Cudi and like did a lot of like kind of like a bit like emotional like depressed like stuff like and like also a lot of druggy stuff too. And like same with like Juice World and like a lot of people like X Tentacion. They did a lot of like emo rap. So there's like a very like it's a very multifaceted genre that you could like honestly like kind of like pave your own like way, like kind of like just doing like what you know. You don't have to like portray like that lifestyle. And also like even if you like also like even if you do like because also most like rappers like just like kind of like cap in the raps. They're not like they don't actually do the shit they like say. And that's not like honestly like I don't really at the end of the day they're just trying to make music and I don't really see a problem with that. But then once you like try to like go like try to portray that image like outside of your like actual music, then that's when like the trouble comes. Because if it's like just writing shit just to like make shit rhyme and like like sound good in your music, it's like it doesn't, it is whatever. You're just like kind of just participating in the art. But like once you actually try to do shit like out in like the streets and try to prove yourself like through like the like Tekashi 69 situation or a bunch of other people, then that's when it starts being an issue because then you're just like digging yourself into a hole that you won't be able to crawl out of. Like
yeah. Wait, random question: is Young Thug going to like? Is it more likely that Young Thug is going to prison?
Yeah, like I don't think shit's looking good for him.
I haven't been keeping up with the case, but
so he's on RICO charges, right? And the thing about Young Thug, he has way too many people involved. He's been doing it for so many years, and a lot of money is involved. So honestly, he's not going to get bailed out. He's going to have to stick through that situation. Probably face not that many years in prison, but he's definitely getting locked up. And his lawyers right now, they're not even doing well. Like I saw a post the other day. His lawyer said, "Young Thug. Thug stands for truly humble under God." Why would you even bring some shit like that up in and the judge, really, that whole situation, it's a lot of racketeering, a whole lot of like money laundering and all this stuff. It's way too much money involved for him to get left off the hook. And this trial, it's going to be going on for years. Honestly, I see him being in prison for quite a long time. And it sucks because he was a really good artist, right? He was good music. And he
was like one of the top artists right now, like type shit. Like
it's not looking good.
Hip hop's a weird genre.
But also, I think a lot of people are like kind of like stupid too because they like actually like they're like doing this shit like they're like doing all this like illegal shit and they're like saying it in their music. Like they're saying people's names, places, all this shit that's incriminating like in a court of law, and they're snitching on themselves. And I think like yo, if you actually really like doing all this shit, like bro, like make up names, say it was like a different place, like you know what I'm saying, like just make it like just like switch up the shit. Don't like say exactly like who it is, because like bro, like right now like a lot of like the like New York like drill music and shit, especially like the like the Bronx drill and shit, like all these rappers are like that's why I don't think like I mean I like drill music. The shit like sounds good and it's like I fuck with it, like I listen to it like myself, but like I don't think like the future in that is not very sustainable because like all the artists like are either gonna be like dead or in like jail. Like just for example, like K Flock, he's in jail because he did all this shit. Like he did all this shit. Like he raps about in his music. He literally shot someone outside a barbershop, and now he's like awaiting trial and stuff. Then like fucking like some of the greats like Pop Smoke died. Like I mean that wasn't really like his fault. Like that was just like very unfortunate robbery. But like a lot of these guys like it's really not sustainable because like they're like literally they're getting this themselves like in trouble legally by just like saying like the stuff they actually do in their music. And like I feel like you can't be 100% honest about that if you're trying to have a sustainable career. Like,
and you see, I think people like Kendrick or like J. Cole, people that actually don't try to rap about, they rap about real life issues, right? Instead of like being in gangs and violence and murdering and killing people, because that's going to get you caught up in trouble that you don't want. You know what I'm saying? But the people that can actually rap about other stuff than like just being, violent, those are the ones that have a sustainable career. So, like you said, K-Fly, people like King Von, people like Pop Smoke, they're good artists, but the stuff that they say in their songs can, get them in trouble from a whole bunch of gangs in the world, in the U.S. that, might think that, they're calling them out. So you got to watch what you say, even if it's not true. And a lot of these rappers, they just be saying stuff just to say it, right? They don't mean it, but people take it as a different way. And that's when you get in trouble. So you got to watch what you say, be careful, or else, you get, like you said, you end up dead or in jail. That's it. So,
but it's like funny too. Like I think like because a lot, how many like rappers is cap, but like, but the thing is like look at like Rick Ross. Like he like talks about himself in his music. Like he's like Pablo Escobar or some shit. Like he's like there's like the cocaine kingpin of like Miami or something. But like he used to be like a prison guard and shit. He used to be like a corrections officer in like a prison like in Florida. Like and like bro, like so he used to be part of like law enforcement. And like he raps about literally the opposite shit. So that's how like a lot of this shit is just like a lot. It's just entertainment, and also a lot of rappers are just like creating a character and like a lore just to like keep their like fans engaged and just promote like this image and shit because it's just like something that's just kind of like part of the genre. But honestly, like I don't even really think it's like honestly I don't really care like that if you just create this this fake background and lore, like whatever. If the music is good, it's like whatever. But like, don't like say shit. Like if you're actually doing shit, like don't like. It's just stupid to like actually say it in your music, and then like get yourself in trouble and like fuck up your own money. Like I don't really get that. Like honestly, if I was making like if I was actually doing shit like that, I would actually go the other direction and be like fucking like supporting law enforcement, all that shit. So like, bro, I wouldn't be leaving crumbs that would lead back to me. Like, bro, like honestly, I would go the opposite direction.
Nah, facts. It makes no sense. It's like low IQ, and again, it doesn't make sense. But again, like I want to say, King, your teeth are insanely ugly. Please, at least get them.
Go to orthodontist.
Go to like I don't know, like get them shits removed. Get it at a 90-degree angle. Just
braces.
Like you're embarrassing yourself, man. Like them teeth are ugly. They're ugly. They're ugly. They're ugly. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. Millennials, y'all are weird, and the reason why I say that is there was a survey that I think recently came out talking about how much money you need to make per year in order to feel happy. Baby boomers, where were they at? Baby boomers were at. Reading this article now.
Didn't it used to be like 75K or something?
I'm looking. So I'll just read the article. So this is from Business Insider. So in mid-November, this company Empower released the results of a survey that conducted like how much money like someone needs to have in order to feel happy. So the average respondent said they need around 285K annual salary to be happy. But no, like for millennials, it's 525K per year.
God, 500K
per year. For baby boomers, it's 124K. And surprisingly, for like Gen Z, I think we're both Gen Z here. For Gen Z, it would take 128K salary for them to be happy. So millennials basically require 5x the amount of like money that like our generation and baby boomers um would want in terms of annual salary. So, w- yeah, I don't know where to start with this, but yeah, millennials like what are they like? Are they right to be? I guess are they right to like want this amount of money, or are they just out of their damn minds?
But like
clearly,
this is like what actually you go and I'll just like say my thing about
yeah,
it.
clearly they're out of their minds. Honestly, I don't even know why 500K is their standard because they expect way more than us Gen Z, which makes no sense because we're literally the generation after them. I honestly think what it is that money has increased in value due to inflation. So I think in their minds, 500K isn't as much as they think it is. Because you said baby boomers want what 124K, which is still a
Yeah,
lot of money back then. But as you go on to like Gen X and increase the generations to millennials, it keeps going higher and higher. I think it's just a trend. But at the end of the day, 500K is ridiculous. You can't make that salary off a job. You have to have some type of other income, multiple passive sources of income, real estate. You have to do other stuff to make that kind of money. And I barely know any millennials making that much money anyway. So a lot of my friends are older, right? I hang out with people who are much older who are millennials. They're not making that much money. So I don't believe the study. I think it's a whole bunch of bogus, and I think they just made that shit up. That's my opinion. But what do you have to say? Y'all have to say.
Yeah, so like honestly, I the thing is like obviously I know that like 100 like six figures now or at least like 100K is not like the same as it like what it used to be because like everything is just so much more expensive because now it's just a lot harder for people to like even like buy their own like own their own home, especially if they live in like a major city like New York or LA and it's like stuff like that. So I get like they're probably just like frustrated from that, but like they're also just being like very like unrealistic and short sighted because yo, like honestly, like I don't know why like it's also like shit was like also like cheaper for them than it is for us like Gen Z people. Just because it's just like as time goes on, everything just becomes more expensive. But so like I don't understand why they expect like that much more money to like make them happy. Because honestly, bro, if they're not like happy with like making like 150K, like what makes you think like it's gonna like change that much when you make 500K? Because like yeah, I mean obviously it's a lot more money, but it's like at a certain point, like you're like once you're actually like financially once you have make enough money where you don't like have to like really like worry about like paying your like where you don't have to where you can like pay your bills and you're just like comfortable. I think your happiness is pretty much like kind of like stays relatively the same.
But is that just for you or for most people? Because what
But
you're
I think
saying,
for like honestly think for for like most people, like honestly, because I think like all like your like because the thing is after a certain point, if you make like six figures, like you're like gonna be you're not gonna like you're gonna be like as long as you're not like stupid with your like money, like you should be like financially stable. Like that's like more than enough, even in like expensive cities like New York, LA. That's more than enough for you to like live like comfortably. I think just people like especially millennials just have like very like high standards for themselves and also like I think there's also just like a lot of comparison to like people online that just like showcase themselves like making a lot of money and living this like lavish luxurious lifestyle. So I think they're just disappointed that like the money they make which they thought was gonna be a lot is not like giving them that exact same lifestyle, but still like they're still like living like a pretty good life compared to like most of the world. Like you're able to you're working like a corporate job. If you're like working a corporate job, you have like benefits and stuff. You're making like a good like enough salary where you're like you're able to like live comfortably and like pay all your bills and like not have to like live like paycheck to paycheck necessarily, but you're not able to like afford like certain other luxuries. I think that's like why like they're saying that like high of a salary, because it's not, they want to like live that luxurious lifestyle that they see online, but like what they're currently getting is just like not as much as they thought it would be, just because there's like shit is just more expensive now. There's inflation and it's just not like the same as it used to be.
Yeah, that's a good point that you brought up. So Trey, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I feel like I should, like, I guess point out two things. Like one, like a lot of millennials, they have large amounts of debt. So I guess just to give them like a little bit of a break, they have large amounts of debt, and plus I guess like recently, like over the years, there's been an increase in childcare costs too. So with that, with those two things, it makes sense why they would, I guess, require a higher salary. But at the same time, I feel like there's still, like especially like this particular generation, the millennials, they are insane, consumers. Basically, all Americans are just insane consumers. Um, and yeah, like we live in a culture where we just live in like constant comparison. We always see like people flexing on IG, on the internet, and what's that term called? Living like the Jones.
Keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah,
keeping up with the Joneses. Like we just see that all the time, and like it's hard. I feel like right now we're lacking just like a little bit of gratitude. And don't get me wrong, like there's definitely been some like ongoing like macroeconomic factors that has made life tougher for the average American. There's definitely people out there that are struggling, people living paycheck to paycheck. So there is that's going on. But I think you also have to look at just people their appetite it's like a never ending cycle of just their appetite just increasing, just consuming stuff like over and over again. And even with like the stuff we're going through now, like if you compare for like the average person, like how they're living today and how they lived back then, the average person today is actually like living better than how people used to live back then. And I know people like, especially on the internet, find that hard to believe, but that is the truth. Like you can just look at the data. Like more people have excuse me. Yeah, like houses were like cheaper back then, but at the same time, like if you look at the houses today, like they're higher quality compared to like the houses back in the like early mid 1900s. So yeah, so yeah, like because people like millennials especially, there's definitely like some type of like spending problem going on. Like I feel like honestly for all generations, probably except for like baby boomers, there's definitely like a spending problem going on. And when you combine that with having like large amounts of debt, which like a lot of it comes down to like student loans, like that's just a bad combination. Like that's just yeah. You can see why you have a lot of millennials that are frustrated with like what's going on with the economy, because they just like they feel like they're in the rat race all the time.
But this is like, but also I've noticed like probably a lot of people who are like answering like this survey, if I had to guess, they're like people who do like are like college educated and stuff, and probably have like decent like solid like corporate like jobs that do like give like make them like they do make like a comfortable enough living. They're not like rich or like balling or anything by any means, but they like make like a good enough like salary. But like what I think it is, like if you're like in like certain like in that like sort of like demographic, and if you're in like those circles, you're gonna be comparing yourself to like the people around you who might be like doing better, and like you're gonna like try to like the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna try to you're gonna try like and keep up with like their like kind of lifestyle, because you're like hanging out with them, you're rolling with them type shit, because you're like hanging around like more similar types of people. You're not like hanging out with someone who's like didn't like get their like degree and who's working like a lower wage job. So it's like that's like who they're like comparing like their own like life to. And also a lot of these people also probably do like have like some like student debt and stuff, so that also makes things a lot more difficult. But they're also like trying to live a lifestyle that they can't like afford, because let's say if let's say, for example, like a lot of like people like after college they like have like pretty good like paying jobs, but they'll even have a job that makes like six figures, like 100 and something, like 150K, and like they'll be complaining like how they can barely afford to like live in like New York City. But like that also makes me think is like bro, like